This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. The cases against Donald Trump are strengthening. Not the case for Donald Trump, the case is against him. And in this case, we're talking about the documents case, the Mar-a-Lago case, as I think it's commonly referred to. Donald Trump's assistant, her name is Molly Michael. She is now alleging, she's cooperating with the government, but she is alleging that Donald Trump used to write her to-do lists on the back of classified documents. This absolutely goes to how Donald Trump has no respect for the classification process or classified information, whether that be secret or confidential or top secret or code word classified. He just doesn't care. I'm going to read, this is exclusive reporting from ABC News. I'm going to read this headline. This story is not getting the kind of coverage that I believe it deserves. It's being talked about, but certainly not with the fever pitch that other things get talked about. Here's the headline. Trump wrote to-do lists for assistant on White House documents marked classified. Sources. Molly Michael told investigators about the documents according to sources. One of former President Donald Trump's longtime assistants told federal investigators that Trump repeatedly wrote to-do lists for her on documents from the White House that were marked classified, according to sources familiar with her statements. As described to ABC News, the aide, Molly Michael, told investigators that more than once she received requests or taskings from Trump that were written on the back of note cards, and she later recognized those note cards as sensitive White House materials with visible classification markings used to brief Trump while he was still in office about phone calls with foreign leaders or other international related matters. Now look, we've long known that Donald Trump has a disrespect, a disregard, if you're being charitable, for convention and the law, especially related to documents. The Presidential Records Act maintains that anything related to the functioning of the White House that the president touches has to be maintained and secured and preserved. And Donald Trump was fond of shredding things with his hands into tiny shreds. Little prop comedy for you. Wasn't planning on doing that, making a mess. He was very fond of this, so fond of this that people who worked within the National Archives and Records Administration had someone on site who was tasked with taping together, trying to piece together the jigsaw that was Donald Trump's mayhem. So it shouldn't surprise you, it doesn't surprise me, that Donald Trump has such a disrespect and disregard for classified materials that he's going to flip them on over and write his lunch menu or whatever on it for his secretary. It's remarkable. The article continues. The note cards with classification markings were at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate when FBI agents searched her property on August 8th, 2022, but the materials were not taken by the FBI, according to sources familiar with what Michael told investigators. When Molly Michael, who was not present for the search, returned to Mar-a-Lago the next day to clean up her office space, she found the documents underneath a drawer organizer and helped transfer them to the FBI that same day, sources told ABC News. The sources said Molly Michael also told federal investigators that last year she grew increasingly concerned with how Trump handled recurring requests from the National Archives for the return of all government documents being kept in boxes at Mar-a-Lago, and she felt that Trump's claims about it at the time would be easy to disprove, according to the source. Now, this next part is what is damning for Donald Trump, and it's also gives me an opportunity to give a critique of media. Sources said that after Trump heard the FBI wanted to interview Molly Michael last year, Trump allegedly told her, quote, "You don't know anything about the boxes." And here comes the media critique. Get a load of this next line. After reporting that Donald Trump said, "You don't know about the boxes," they say, it's unclear exactly what he meant by that. Is it unclear, ABC? Is it unclear what Donald Trump meant by that? Come on. How long have you been reporting on Donald Trump and his chicanery, his criminality, his obstructive behavior? And you're going to say, it's unclear. We can't really quantify or determine what it is he meant by "you don't know about the boxes." As ABC News previously reported, Molly Michael is believed to be the person identified in Special Counsel Jack Smith's indictment as, quote, "Trump employee 2, described in the indictment as someone who handled many of Trump's White House-era boxes at Mar-a-Lago and who provided Trump with photos of those boxes that were then included in the indictment." Michael's statement to investigators, described to ABC News by sources, shed further light on the breadth of evidence that Smith has amassed to support his case against Trump. A Trump spokesperson said that what ABC News was told through what the spokesperson called illegal leaks lacks proper context and relevant information, and that President Trump did nothing wrong, has always insisted on truth and transparency, and acted in a proper manner according to the law, except for he didn't. And also it lacks proper context and relevant information. Well, why don't you provide that, spokesperson for Donald Trump, likely Taylor Budowich? Why don't you provide that context and further detail for the rest of us? Until then, maybe shut up. This is huge. That not only is he acting very likely obstructing justice here by telling his secretary, who has access to, who has seen what she's seen, "You don't know about this. You shut up about this. You keep your mouth closed about this." Not only is he doing that, he's absolutely disregarding classified information, even if he's doing this as president, and even though it's not, he's able to just declassify with his mind. This still shows his lack of interest in national security matters. Items are classified to protect the national security of America. They're not classified for fun. They're not classified for shits and giggles, as it were. They are to preserve and protect America. And having disregard and disrespect for that also endangers America. But you will have these people defend Donald Trump at all costs, no matter what danger might befall. They're going to stand for their guy. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. If I do something that you appreciate, if I am your flavor of political commentator, whatever, if I bring you value, please consider supporting my work. You can help support the mission, the work we're undergoing here. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $1.99 a month. You can hit the super thanks button, or even better, you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Follow me on social media, blah, blah, blah. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Don't write on the back of classified material. Take care of one another.